and he is quite popular in his field, though I am not from his field. I can give you one example. Yesterday, somebody who is our colleague, she met with me, and she suddenly talked about him that I came to know that he is coming to your workshop. So I need to talk to him because I am very fond of his work, and he is a very nice worker. I mean, scientifically, his work is very high quality. Even many other friends in physics department also said me the same thing. So anyway, he is not talking. He will not be delivering any lecture in physics and something, but he'll be talking on how can you conduct online examination. So suppose we are not in kind of so-called national platform that we are offering any national level course or something, but you wish to have a online platform where you can manage your say class tests or midterm exams which you need to submit for term end exams and stuff like that, like in Vishwavarta we have internal exams. So those things also we can manage using online platforms without much hassle, like pen and paper and stuff like that. And checking copy is a huge trouble for us if the number of students is very large, and those things can be solved in a very comfortable way and very nice way. So Tanmoy will be talking on that. So anything you want to know, you just interact him anytime you want. And in second part, he will be talking on uh, latex. I think maybe some of you are aware of that. That is a scripting software, word processor kind of thing, but it has some special advantages because when we will be developing literally some e-content, if we go for only writing by word processor, I mean MS Word, then it doesn't become that much good in some senses, like referencing and quality of the presentation and stuff like that. So LaTeX is very good aid for writing in scientific texts. So we will be talking on that as well. And there are some online platforms on which we'll be using for online tests. There also you have to put the thing in LaTeX format. So that is also necessary to know the LaTeX. So he will be covering those two issues and those two topics. Hope you will enjoy this. Tanmoy, please.
Thank you, Tirthankar, for your very generous introduction. And good morning, all. I must thank Tirthankar for being so proactive to organize this workshop on this particular theme, which is really emerging field or emerging topic in our educational system. So my talk will be, as Tirthankar said, told, will be in two different parts. First part is open evaluation. I will discuss step by step how to enter into that particular field. And Dr. Ghosh, Tirthankar will take elaborate class in the second part, that is after 2, I think, on that particular topic. So I think at the end of the day, you will become more conversant with the open evaluation kind of thing. And the second lecture I will deliver on open documentation, and I will talk about it later. So let us start. Now, in the past few days, you have already learned or actually discussed many things on open or rather I should say MOOC. There are several resources are there for students and teachers. You are actually a facilitator. You can take those resources, bring forward those resources to your students. So students these days are now acquainted with online courses, online resources. But what is the biggest challenge in this era of education? What is the biggest challenge for a teacher, particularly with the introduction of CBCS system? So at first we had semester system, then we have to deal with CBCS system. And in CBCS system, you have to take at least say 8 examinations, including mid-semester, throughout the year. So we are all busy taking examinations rather than improving our quality, improving the quality of our evaluation. So although resources are there, but the main part of our educational system is evaluation. How to evaluate a student at the end of a semester or at the end of a particular course. So you can see, in my opinion, I think you will agree with me, the biggest challenge for a teacher nowadays is evaluation. And evaluation, it's a 3-step process. First process is setting questions. It is, of course, difficult to set a particular type of question, particular genre of question. It's always difficult. And we have to, rather we should concentrate on this particular thing. So first step is setting question. Second one is taking examination. So taking examination is very much tedious these days. You have to book a room, you need proper infrastructure, you need resource persons, you have to count tiffin packets, how many tiffin packets you have to order. So taking examination is the second step, and this is infrastructure dependent step. It has nothing to do with academic. And you don't have any control over taking examination. And the last one is examining the answer scripts. So gathering all the answer scripts, you have to go through it. Or if you are chairman of a physics or rather particular subject, then you have to inform all the examiners, collect the marks. All these things you have to do manually. It is the most difficult, and I think you all will agree is the almost boring part, examining the answer scripts, because it is directly related with the declaration of result. So you have suppose 90 answer scripts. If you justify with all the students, you need at least 4 hours per answer scripts, 3 to 4 hours per answer scripts. But our authorities, say controllers of examination, for example, will ask you to submit the answer scripts within say 4 days. So it will definitely affect our quality of evaluation. And if we are honest, we should agree that these days particularly, we are not justifying with all the students regarding our quality of evaluation. So in a single sentence, evaluation actually affecting our quality of evaluation. And with the introduction of CBCS system, teachers are busy taking examinations throughout the year. But that should not be the case. We should more concentrate on the educational part. That is how to teach, how to set question, etc. Not this authority or this infrastructure related part. So does there exist any alternative digital online version of evaluation? That is the main question. And in this discussion, I will introduce or I will discuss some platforms where you can perform online tests. And one of the platforms is called Classmarker. So Classmarker is actually a digital platform. It's a website, www.classmarker.com. You don't have to install any software for this. Just go to your browser, open the website. I will start from Classmarker, and there are many other platforms I will discuss step by step. But the most favorite one and the most user-friendly is Classmarker. That's why I will discuss it in detail. So you can see that it's a create custom test and exam online. So without talking too much, let me introduce the thing. Go to Google and just type Classmarker, and you can see that online testing free quiz maker, create the best quizzes. At first, you have to do register, and you can see that you can register as an administrator. Since you are the test taker, you will take test of your students. So you will register as the administrator, and Classmarker provides special features for educational purpose. It is not a free online platform, but for educational purpose, you can use it, most of its features free of cost. So when you register, click on this part, and they will verify whether you are really an educator or not. Because business persons, they can also use this for their survey, but as an educator, we will use this particular platform for taking this. So whenever you register, you will register as an educator. Free accounts come with full testing functionally available, no credit card required, register in under one computer. And this is as simple as that. Just opening an email ID is easier than or comparable to this. So now, since I am already registered, I will directly go to Classmarker. And you can see it can create custom tests and exams online, secure and private. And its security is global sign secured, and it got the Future Business Award in 2017. And these are the clients. You can see big giants are clients, and they are paying money. That's why we are getting it. Some of its fees are free of cost. So easy to define test setting. No software installation is required. This is very important. Custom certificate and exam branding. This is not for our freebies, not for the free users. But if you pay, you can issue certificate online with your own logo. Give exams with public and private options, and etc. So, at first I will demonstrate how to create a test in test marker. So since I am a registered user, so this is the homepage of class marker. There are many things I will discuss one by one, and I will discuss only I will not go into the upgraded parts because it requires a huge amount of money to purchase the total package, and it is possible for an individual teacher to purchase this. This is actually the role of our authority. So I will not go into that. Notice that there are 3 steps. Step 1 is create test. So at first you have to create test. You have to set questions. Second part is assign to a particular group. Assign your test to the 50 students. They may have laptop, they may have desktop, and they may have a simple smartphone with some, say, Geo connection or Airtel connection. We all have these days. They will submit their answers through online, and then your final task is to analyze results. Only you have to do or concentrate on the first part, create test. You have to create questions. Other parts that will be managed by the class marker. So we are free from assigning or analyzing khata dekha kind of thing. Now we will say that it requires internet line, a very fast internet line. That is not the case. When you are creating the test, it requires some of steady internet line. But when students are giving their question and answers or submitting their answers, they need during the opening of the question paper, only then they will require some while answering the questions. It can be done in offline. So let us try to create a particular test. So the first part is create test. Click on create test. But you can see the name. You have to assign a name of the test. So let us, the test name, go to start adding questions. I hope it will work. Okay. Now task. Next task is to adding questions. You can see there are 2 types of questions, fixed questions and random questions. I will come to the part random questions later on. For the time being, let us proceed with the fixed question. Fixed question means you are setting a particular question with some options, say, and it will appear to all the participants or all the students with a fixed tag number or fixed question number. It will not randomized. So suppose I have two students will see the same question. So now you can understand what random question means. If you randomize the question, all the students see the questions or the options in a randomized manner. So this is the most secret part. Import name and select from your question bank. You can actually make a very good question bank in your leisure time. Whenever you get time, just create question bank. So I will discuss these two parts later on. So at first, go to add new. New fixed question. Now we have 0 questions in our hand. Select question type, equations and images. Okay. Grammatical test is there, and last one is essay. Essay means descriptive question. And this so don't get very too excited. And this essay part also is they are actually making this essay part in such a way that at first class marker will assess the question, rather answer, and then it will give it to you for manual checking. Because in subjective subjects like Bengali or humanities, so there is no, certainly it's a subjective subject. It depends on the subject. So in the last part, essay part, there are 2 parts. That is automated checking by class marker and then manual checking by the instructor. But in other parts, class marker will do the check for you. So this is not a very much concern for us. Why? Because unless our authority gives permission to take test in this manner, we cannot proceed, first of all. But we can proceed it in our own way in internal assessment. In CBCS system, 20 to 25% marks are there reserved for internal assessment. For internal assessment, we are free. We can test, we can take test using any platform which is secure and say legal, not illegal. So let us start with multiple choice question. So it's a multiple choice question. There are true, false, matched, grammar. So multiple choice question. I will keep my standard of setting question to class 3, grade 3. Okay, for all the participants. And I stick to class 3 because my son is in class 3. Who invented W? This is the question, and there are options A, B, C, D, and you can add more options. So first one, Vincent Gray, Tim Berners-Lee, Albert Einstein, and since it is Shantiniketan, aren't it?
ये क्वेश्चन तो हमारे लिए भी हो गया सर।
Yeah.
Put up, huh?
So then I have given 4 options. You can add more. One can be correct, or since it's a multiple choice question, more than one can also be correct. Yeah. So for science subjects, it will be better if you keep only one correct answer. For the subjective subjects, you may set 7 options. Out of 7 options, 3 may be correct. That will test their subjective ability. Okay. So for the time being, I set a particular question that has only one correct answer. Now I have to tell the class marker which is the correct answer. And the correct answer is Tim Berners-Lee. I have to click here, and it turned into green. This answer option is correct, and it is seen by only the students will not obviously can see it. So selected correct answers generic. Now suppose you are teaching 3 subjects. You are assigning question to the students. Now while creating question, you have to keep track. Your particular question is belongs to that particular topic or subject. So while creating a question bank, it is very much helpful to select a particular category. So suppose category may be mathematics, category may be physics. Under physics, you can use subcategory statistical mechanics, quantum mechanics, etc. Such that you can keep track which question belongs to which category. For the time being, I keep this category as general question. So this is a very trivial question, so I will give 2 points for this. Randomize answers. If yes, then what I said earlier, the answers will be randomized. A, B, C, D, C, D, B. So for the time being, no. Answer selection, how students will select. Should they select through a radio button or checkbox? What is the difference between radio button and checkbox?
Select only one button.
Yeah,
Select
multiple. So in the checkbox case, multiple buttons can be selected, checked, and in radio button, only one button can be selected. So save. So you have successfully added a fixed question to your test. Now you can see one fixed question. For that, you have assigned 2 points. There are no random questions. So first one is tiger, lion, chair, tree. So chair is the correct answer. One mark for this. Save. So I have said 2 multiple choice questions. Now give a grammatical question. Grammar. This is the question and this is the right answer. So select grammar. Incorrect version. Say one of the student goes home. This is the incorrect person. And what should be the correct person?
The students.
Of the student goes home. So in person, correct person, category generic, point available, say 2. Save. And very quickly, let us go through the other types of question, true, false. Here comes the question. The answer is correct, and answer is incorrect. Matching, you know it. Two-way matching. Prime Minister of Nepal, Prime Minister of India, and give the name of the Prime Minister. And free text. In the free text part, you can see, suppose I am asking, what is an internet? And you are giving various, rather several options. If any of the options matches with the answer given by the student, it will take that as the correct answer. So this is the mandatory part. This should be matched in somehow, but you can also put optional answers. So in the case of what is internet, if the mandatory part is it is a huge network of connected computers. This is the very strict part. Optional parts maybe some try to write local area network, etc. So in the free text, there is a mandatory answer and there are lots of optional answers. But I can tell you, it is not 100%. So it will not give an evaluation which is very foolproof.
So in sciences, it may be very useful.
Yeah.
For the criteria based,
For-
we want 5 functions of anything.
Yeah.
Important function should be there, and 5 and 6 functions more.
For science subjects, you have to actually create particular type of questions that will give a very good result.
Steps of something.
Yeah.
The first step is essential, and then you can.
So these are very strict answers. But in the case of subjective subjects, this is, you have to think about it actually.
So in case of science, if you use the active form, then I use the passive form.
Yeah.
Then it cannot be able to choose the answer exactly. Then
No.
I have to use also in the active
Yes,
part.
yes.
So it may not be.
The question. Otherwise, it will give false impression or false result.
But there will be question of semantics.
Yeah. No, actually, the pretext version, you can say there is a essay version, which is a upgraded version. So it is obvious that they will not provide an alternative of essay free of cost. For that part, you have to purchase it or convince your authority to purchase it.
Sir, in case of pretext,
Huh.
in the question of answer part, is it essential to put the whole answer or the keyword of the answer?
No, actually,
In case of mandatory or
yeah, no, in the case of mandatory, it has to be matched with the
Full correct answer.
correct answer.
That means it needs
100%.
100%.
100%. Yeah. So that's why I am telling this is not a very good option.
So making
So,
of the sentence may be different for
yeah,
different students.
obviously. So it will be better if we stick to objective type questions, true false thing type of things. So and in our examination system, say NET exam or SET exam, Actually, we all are dealing with multiple choice question. In even Bengali or other humanities subjects, although those are subjective subjects, but students answer only multiple choice type questions. So in NET or GATE or SET, there is only one type of
It
question.
may not be fruitful for subjective type of answer. It's very
Yeah,
crucial for objective type.
objective type of
And there is
Questions.
option for that also in MCQs, like in AIMS exams and higher quality exams. Assertion and then reasoning. Assertion, reasoning.
yeah.
ऐसा कोई option है इसमें?
You can put that in a different manner actually. I will come to that in a later part. Let us see what we have created.
Okay.
Weakest link or weakest part of, and it is the weakest because we are using free versions. And since we are interested in freelance, so we should stick to multiple choice type of question. So I have three questions, three fixed questions, and the test name is AKDC. Now back to test. So question 1, question 2, question 3, etc. Now ready to give your test. Now the second part is how to assign. You have created your test, question paper is ready. Now you are ready to assign this particular test to your students. And how do you will assign to your students? You can assign via group and you can assign via link. Link is not very efficient for the free users, but for free users, the most effective option is assign via group. So you will assign this particular test to a bunch of students in your class. Say. How to assign to group? I have many groups, so I am interested to create a new group. So create a new group. What should be the group name? It will be better if you put the group name same as the test name. AKDC, create group. So we have created a group AKDC, but we have no members, 0 members. What you have to do? Add members. Enter members. And you can see that for free users also, maximum 1,000 users can be registered per group. So it's a huge number. So they are giving a very good option for free users also. But here you have to enter the name of the group member. While entering the name, you have to be very cautious. Its format should be name, comma, space. Space must be there. Name, comma, space, and surname. Or the other way around. Surname, comma, space, name. So let me try it. What's your name, sir?
Nandlal Mandal.
So N Mandal. Next member, I need two members. What's your name, ma'am?
So Sharmila Yadav.
Yes.
Sharmila. SHARMILA.
Yes.
So S. What is the surname?
Yadav.
Yadav. Last name, email. Email is optional, but for free users, it has no. Taskmaster will not manage the test through email, etc. It is for upgraded users. So for that, I am not entering the email. Password. You may allow Taskmaster to choose password randomly for each users, but for the time being, I am giving a fixed password for all the group members. Let it be C 1, 2, 3, 4 field day. Language is English. New members, do not email login details to new members, because if you want to do it, it will ask to upgrade your account. So for free users, I will not. So not yes, but no. I all this information to my, because if I want to do, I have to upgrade. So I have created a group having 2 members. Register new users. So you have 2 members, N Mandal, S Yadav, first name, last name, and these are the usernames. Usernames, you can see that class marker automatically created username, and since I specified the password same for all the members, password is HRTC 1234 tilde.
तो के बाद सिंबल क्या है सर?
Tilde.
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 Tilde. Now assign test. I want to assign test to whom? To the group members of this AKDC. Now again, assign to group AKDC. Now you can see that preset setting. This is the most important part in taking online evaluation or online test. So try to understand it. What you can see, test access. First one is availability. Is it available currently? Yes. Make it available for the students. But in our classroom infrastructure, it will be better if you say your student that tomorrow I will take a test from 11 to 1. So 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So make it available. Tomorrow means 8th February. Available until 8th February, and also specify the time. Available until 1 p.m. So it's a 2-hour test. Before and after, no allowed to keep the test. We have done availability. What is the next part? Attempts. How many attempts a student can do, or student to take? If you want to prevent hall manage digital duplicate, then you have to stick to only one attempt, because they attempt check it. Must answer correctly to continue. If somebody answers wrongly, then his test will be over. That should not be the case. But must answer. Now test completion result page. See
Sir,
score.
in case of negative marking, it's
Yeah.
good, bad, na?
Mm.
If negative marking, I don't want to attempt it.
Mm.
I want to go in the next question.
Yeah. Then also uncheck that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But for the time being, I am not setting any negative marking, and I want to actually see what his opinion is, or his or her opinion is about the answer question. So in the result page, score, feedback, questions that will be given to the student. Pass mark, let us 50%. Test completed message, so on pass. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Sorry. And so on fail, try hard.
Enjoy.
Class 8 तक there is no problem.
So, webbook, certificate, email results, these are for upgraded users. We are not going into that. We are not interested to give certificate to the students for.
So webbook, what is this webbook?
Actually, these are, you can put your logo or a particular kind of message. If you want to tag your get to another similar type of questions or other examinations, so all this can be done with these 3 parts.
Actually, MOOCs, the course we are doing, they gives for the web links,
Yeah.
this symbol for the web links.
Okay.
Further, you can study these web
Study
links.
these.
So this hook is.
Yeah. So you can see API rubrics documentation. Now you are ready.
Sir, can't I take a picture of the complete stage? These are the questions. Is there an option?
Yeah. You can also notify the members. You can understand this is for upgraded user. Now your test is assigned to your group. So although class marker does not allow to send email to the group members as an instructor or test taker, I have received a mail from class marker. And that mail contains first name, last name, username, password of all of my students. So what I should do, I should forward this email to the email IDs of our students. So that in that way, I will escape the upgradation part. Without upgrading, I am actually giving all the informations regarding logging or submitting test to my students. So since I have got a message from class marker in my registered email, I will simply forward it to two of my participants. Ma'am, what is your email ID?
Sharmila_Yadav
SHARMILA
Yadav 2002
YADAV. Okay.
at yahoo.com.
व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं जाता सर इजी हो जाएगा
No, yeah. No, you can actually send it.
The link to the group.
In your WhatsApp group also. Not take a screenshot and then share it in your WhatsApp group. And what is your email ID, sir?
NL Mandal. NL
NL
MANDAL
MANDAL
yahoo.co.in.
nlmandal@yahoo.co.in.
ऑल द बेस्ट
Thank you.
टफ एग्जामिनेशन यू नो 50% योर
At first, let them receive it. Did you get it?
So, yes, sir.
Okay. So there you have all the informations regarding your username and password. Now, my part is over. I've created a test. I have assigned that test to my group members. Now it's my time to log out.
सर टेस्ट शुरू हो गया
टेस्ट नहीं है, अभी नहीं होने वाला, टेस्ट शुरू होने वाला है. You have to enter to class marker. Open your username and password here to take the test. Actually, if you come over here, then all you can.
पे दिया क्लास मार्कर.
नहीं हम देख सकते हैं ना क्या
वहाँ जाके
अच्छा इधर भी लगाते हैं.
So what is your username? Username is NV3.
NV3EMANDAL.
Username and password was IHRDC 1234 tilde. Login.
तो बार नहीं हुआ और हो गया.
And
सर आप एग्जाम दे दीजिए
हाँ,
हाँ आप ही दे दीजिए. तो आपका भी बता.
what is, don't log in from multiple IP addresses. Otherwise, you get problem.
विधि वाला करते हैं ये सब.
So you can see that the test taker will see only these pages. Name, percentage, etc. AKDC is the attempts around 1 and this is the start one.
अच्छा मैं बता
So click on start.
इसमें
ये 10
After clicking on start, first it will give a detailed instruction. Number of questions 3, has a time limit of 5, number of attempts 1, must be finished in one sitting. Question displayed per page, you will allowed to go back and change your answer, not allowed actually. Not finish your etc. and has a pass mark of 50%. So let us start. So I am giving on
सर अगर मान लो इन्होंने हमको दे दिया
actually time start हो गया, so
Banerjee.
one of the students
Goes home. Start. Right, next.
You can see the time bar is increasing,
वापस भी जा सकता है टाइम में
which is a non-living thing. I don't know the answer.
टाइगर
Tiger.
गई सर फिर कराएगा
So sorry for messing up.
No, ठीक
Who invented www? Tim Berners-Lee. Finish now. Confirm. Finish now. Confirm. And your result is
Right question.
वाओ
Time off.
80%
so you have got 80%
congratulations
points. 4 out of 5. Duration. Date finished. Feedback. Congratulations. You can see all the correct answer or the incorrect answers. So total feedback it will be appear to the test rather student instantaneously after just finishing the test. If he or she got say 80% or 100%, next day he will come to you and want to ask you what was my performance, and if he got 20%, then he will not appear before you for 1 week. But result is also out, so you don't have to take pain. But you have to make a result sheet. For the student, he has nothing to do, so he has to log out. And next, it is the task of the test taker to generate result or compile result. It can be generated or compiled using Excel sheet or other. There are several other means. Since test taker,
नहीं बुला कोई बात नहीं। अच्छा बच्चा नहीं बनना चाहिए उधर तो सब जगह बुलाएगा आप ही पढ़ाइए आप ही पढ़िए
80% is enough.
है ना
More than enough.
More than enough.
3 मिनट के पता चला सर को आंसर पता था तभी मैंने नहीं किया टाइम
Now you can see that AKDC results. This particular segment now appears here. Go to results. And in the result part, you can 2 members. S. Zadav was absent actually. Only N. Mandal have taken the test, and these are the details. Answers, click on this. 80%, all these things. And this is the most vital part.
Sir, but practically we are doing now. Swam is too slow. Not showing the results, not showing the proper tests.
रिजल्ट दिखा रहा है
Results दिखा रहा है, But sir, जितने भी टेस्ट, I think 9 टेस्ट अभी तक हुए, I have given 6. They are not showing it. So it again creates a chaos कि यार क्या बात है क्या नहीं. Then we give a mail to support Swam.
Okay.
Then they answer. Then they say update your these things, clear your history, then update, then go. Sometimes I go with my app Swam.
Yeah.
Sometimes I log in through my computer. So it's creating some confusion. Sometimes I give exam in my mobile phone only.
No, actually, with SWAM, there are several issues, several bugs till date. They are improving. So, but the corporate house, they are actually engaging several large number of engineers to take care of all this, and we are only actually exploiting their 3%. And what I was saying that this is the IP address. This is, so you can tell your authority that the student who sits in front of you actually was giving the test from his smartphone or computer, or nobody other from other part of the world was not giving his answers. So IP address is there, and you can take print out. So just go to print to file or print to paper. Print to file.
So does it not come into Excel sheet?
Export all results. And you can export the results in several formats are there, including detailed part of the class marker. Go to dashboard. In dashboard, you can find all the things you want to do and categories. Now I will go to link part. What does link mean? So till now I have used question, I think, which is sufficient for our internal test taking or for internal assessment or other things for all these services. So there are groups and link test, AKDC, assign to link. It will create actually a link, create a new link. You have to generate a link name, and then when you assign, suppose you generate a particular link name, it will create, if you give the link name, say AKDC again. You can see the results will not be saved since we are using the free version. The results will not be saved. That is the bad part. which is not acceptable for us. We need all the results, IP address, etc. You can see it has created a link. Now, your task is to forward this link to the what you have said to the your WhatsApp group. You can paste it in your home page and tell your student go to that home page, particular page, and click on the link and give the test. So I have already created a link for my test. So there is a free version of my home page. And we all have free home pages using Google.
Student has to go on this
Students,
general login that we do for suppose say Google or anything like that we do.
yeah.
Okay.
And the good part is they platform. They just click on the link and the test will automatically.
Not say problem is only for the link.
Yeah.
But not in the group.
No, not in the group. That's why my personal favorite is group.
So we need the results.
Yeah, we need the result. We need all these things kept in our website. So okay, it is not working actually. Now go to my presentation part. So all this discussed step by step. I will give you the total documentation or my presentation. All these things are already discussed. Rather discussing it in slide, it is better to demonstrate all these things. Correct. Now, the important question, alternatives and all the steps are nearly identical. So I will not discuss all these things in detail.
How to evaluate the short answers?
It is the improved version of the free text version of class marker.
So we have to, sir, can we create the group first and then create that test?
Obviously.
So we can create the group for us to.
That is actually the best way. You know all your students, then collect all the names and email IDs, and then they will actually give you the soft copy, just copy and paste. So easy test maker and hot potatoes, these are two different alternatives. And you can also see their clients. And in interview Mocha, there are 10,000 ready-made questions are there. You don't have to create questions. But for that, you have to pay also $10,000. So
So we are masterminds in
this is not
question.
our cup of tea. So I skip this. Interview Mocha is there. But I am showing this because if we started working on this open evaluation in our small frame, that is by taking internal assessment, etc. Then one day, actually, our authority and authority in Delhi, UGC, say they have to come to this platform. Otherwise, the whole educational system, evaluation system will be broke down. So it is the future, and we have to be prepared for this, or should be conversion to this particular platform. There are other sites, Exam Zone, FlexiQuiz, Engage Form, Wonder Cells, Quiz Creator. These are the other websites. You can take test through these sites also. But my personal favorite is Classmarker because they upgrade their platform day by day. And sometimes they offer actually good rate. You can now take a 30 days trial for upgraded user. So in that 30 days, you can do anything. But at this point, I must warn you that there are two types of things in the internet. Some are test takers and some are survey for Survey Monkey, Kudos. These are survey or quiz type of platforms, and companies, corporate companies, usually use those platforms for surveying their results. So give 5-star, etc. Whatever message you got in your email from Amazon or from a particular journal, those are survey maker, not test taker. So in internet, there is no clear distinction between survey maker and test taker. So be very careful. These are only few platforms are there which create quiz as well as you can use them as test taker. Don't go for the survey type of softwares or platforms. Now, here is my conclusion. So, we have already discussed a lot, not a lot, only the basic things what we can do with Classmarker or online evaluation platform. And there are several merits and demerits of it till date. Demerits are for the evaluation of subjective essay type questions. And we also know that if I evaluate a particular answer today, subjective answer, and I give 8 out of 10, 3 months later, I will not give 8, I will give say 9 or 6. So subjective answers, evaluation of subjective answers depend upon the opinion of the test taker. So there is no 100% foolproof evaluation process. So you have to improve your evaluation, but you cannot reach 100% evaluation. But with this digital platform, you can actually do many things. You can put, these are all new things. You can put your opinion, you can improve them such that you can use all these platforms effectively to test your students. So, thank you. If you have any question or any discussion.
These are all, is there any such initiative from the NHRD or the government?
Actually, one initiative is they are through
What is the main project, what you are not mentioning? So what is happening, there is who develop this software provider, they are taking all the questions. then they all take the question, make the question like. Then at one time, after 2 or 3 years, they are releasing some question like, and they are selling in the market. So at that time, what will be happening? There will be no question from us. All will be out for the students. That is the main thing.
Actually, if we want to implement this type of platform in our university and institute level, we have to create our own platform. We should not use class marker or other things. Yeah.
So things are syllabus change.
If you go to next, there is a full number of questions available. If you pay some money, required to prepare the question. So how they get? They are getting from Indian from Indian are doing this. Other countries they are making storage and they are just selling. That is the main thing. Similar thing happening if you the university that the companies they got as India has a problem in the storage of seeds. They are making all the seeds. You give me, I will store. Then after 2 or 3 years, what is happening? They are selling results total for everyone. So they are now selling.
Leaking of question is still a problem. Leaking from press. So, if the university or institute itself can create a server or something, but since we are using free
No, I think
things,
if somebody write that code once, then some 20% use the same code for different
yeah. So,
because they are mainly things they are who have done the program, that is the main.
yeah.
So how
And
Swam is doing from which software? How they are doing, sir?
actually, I
The
have
same things you told.
Yeah,
na?
yeah.
The performer is almost same.
I have gone through it, and it is not a very reliable kind of thing,
Why?
because the coding they are using is still there are several bugs, and one can easily hack those things. So they are, and American companies are not actually interested in a question or internal assessment. Okay, in the second part of my lecture, I will discuss about something about LaTeX. Probably some of you already know what it is.
Break sir now. Tea break. Break sir. Break time.
मेरा टोटल है. मेरा बिल्कुल सही देना. हाँ, 9. बस हो गया. Finish.